Welcome to Samhain, when the veil is extremely thin right now, from this world to the next world. And there are 4 things that I want you to do right now and for the next 2 days to stay protected and to use the energy for your advantage, because you can do a lot of growth right now. And we're stepping into the new year, the new you, what you can do to become that better version of yourself, to walk in your light, to be the authentic person that you are, and how to make your authenticity come through even more. So what's going on right now? Why is this energy here? We have the new year. Samhain is the death of whatever does no longer serves us. It's a time of year where we say hello to our ancestors who have passed on. Of course, there's some ancestors that should stay buried, and don't light a candle for them. Let's only light a candle for those that we know are beneficial, are good, bring light into our world. Then of all things to come with this new year, we have a new moon, which just intensifies the newness, the way that we can walk into our new light, our most authentic selves, the way that we can be who we were meant to be, our purpose, and where we're meant to go in this world. It's not always clear. We have a lot of limiting beliefs, but during new moons, during Samhain, we can get a very clear message. And then we're in Scorpio season. Scorpio season helps us uncover what is hidden. It helps us dig deep to the depths of our soul and bring whatever is in the depths of our soul out to shine bright in this world. I love Scorpio energy. I am a Scorpio stallion, and it is my jam. Transformation is this constant thing in my life, and that's a good thing. Transformation is a good thing as long as you're transforming to that higher version of yourself. And right now, we can all use this energy. It doesn't matter if you're a stallion or if you're a Scorpio sun or a Scorpio moon. You can use this Scorpio energy. It's available to everyone. So let's get into it. The 4 things that I want you to know for the next couple days. First of all is protection. Protect yourself. Protect your third eye. I draw a Brigid cross on my third eye in white. White is repellent, so it pushes things away. Black absorbs. So it is good to wear black right now because you do want to absorb a certain amount of energy, but you also want to protect yourself from the things that are not good for you, the spirits that are kind of lurking in the shadows. We want to stay away from them. So we don't want to absorb them, but we do want to absorb the energy right now, as long as you're staying in a high vibration with what you are doing in your day-to-day life, meditating, not giving into gossip or hate speech, and it's a hard time of year to do that also, because at least in America, we have elections coming up and people are kind of at each other's throats right now. So protecting yourself from that energy. You do not have to engage in every conversation, especially conversations you know you're going to trigger. That doesn't mean that you can't take a stand and stand up for what you believe is right. I'm not saying that at all. But there are certain there is a time for it, and there's a time to protect your energy. So just have a little bit more awareness of which is which. And we want to create a bubble around our space, around our being. Everyone has an aura. And oftentimes, especially when we're really tired, if you haven't been sleeping well, and this is kind of a hard time of year to sleep, as we transition from light to darkness, it kind of throws you off a little bit. And your aura gets really close to your body when you're tired. So I want you to just do some imagining here. Imagine your aura, your light coming from your heart space and feeling more room, more space. And just imagine this light around you. And it's kind of like your soul expanding through light. And then before you go to sleep, especially the night of the 31st, which is tonight, if you're watching this when it comes out, I want you to put a bubble around your space. Do this every night for the next couple nights, but tonight especially, it's when the veil's the thinnest, especially because we have a new moon, which means it's going to be a very dark night in the physical world, but it's also going to bring in a little bit of that darkness. Things can creep in a little bit easier when it's dark, when the moon's not as bright. So protect your space, protect your home with a bubble. I used to use salt before I worked with light a lot. Salt is very protective. You can just kind of do a salt ring around your home, or just putting it in the four corners of your home. And if you have, if you can, put it exactly north, south, east, west. Find corners that are in alignment with the actual directions instead of southwest or northeast. But I want you to start working with this light, because this light is expansive and it's the most protective thing. You can also call on your angels to come in and give you a little bit more protection, bring a little bit more light, especially if you don't think you're capable of it yet, if you haven't worked with it a lot. I remember when I first started working with light, in astral, I could see, when my third eye was open, I could see like this dinky little string of light bulbs, and they were like orange glowy lights. And that's like what I first was coming up with when I first started working with light, and I could like see it in astral. So it takes practice, and maybe for you it won't take as much practice as it did for me, but it took me quite a bit of practice until I could get this light to really expand. Nothing can harm you in this light. So it's very protective, and get used to using it, especially this time of year. Secondly, in the physical world, light the eternal flame. I call it the eternal flame because I am a follower of Brigid, or Brigid. I call her Brigid, but most people know her as a Brigid, so I'll refer to her as that. I light the flame for her. I also light the flame for my ancestors that I want to welcome into my home tonight, so they have a place. And I like to leave, I'm not talking about all your ancestors. Please don't bring up ancestors that were bad or evil, because they might still be bad or evil on the other side. So be protective of your space with your ancestors as well. And you can even say which ones are allowed. If you don't know them by name, if you want to invite ancient ancestors, you can say ones of love and light, ones that have the best interest for me and my family, people you live with, whatever. And if you're not comfortable with it, just don't do it. You can light a flame for yourself and for your family. Now, if you live somewhere where you can't light a candle or have a fire, you can just use an electric candle. Those are absolutely fine. You can absolutely do your craft with electricity. It's we live in a new age, a new day, and as much as I like to do things the old way, it is okay to do things a little more modern. It's fine. Thirdly, the anvil. Now, Brigid is a lot similar to this transformational energy that Scorpio brings. Brigid likes to shape us, mold us with her flame and her anvil. And she's just, when we have those challenging times in our life, I like to imagine her beating us in a way to shape us, to mold us. So when we're going through those traumas and trials in our life, we're really being molded to step into a new understanding of this world, so we can create new in this world, so we can stand up for justice for others, or just walk in our purpose, walk in our light. And the more tension there is in our trials and our traumas of life, the more expansion there is when we come out of it. Now, we can stay in the anger and frustration and bitterness and victim mentality. We can definitely stay there. You could stay there for the rest of your life, or you can fight your way out of it, and you can become a more calloused version of yourself. And I know that doesn't always seem fair. And I remember the first time somebody said that to me, it made me very angry when I was much younger, in my 20s, and I was coming out of sexual trauma and domestic violence. And I was very angry when I heard people say those things, because you don't understand what I've been through. You know, like, how could you say that to me? I have every right to be angry, and you do have every right to be angry. But wouldn't you rather be this more calloused, more refined version of yourself? Or do you want to live and repeat these traumas constantly happening to you over and over? You know, you get to decide. And yes, it takes work, and you have to do shadow work, and you have to process, and you have to talk about things or journal, but get them out of your mind, get them out of your body, get them out. And sometimes we need to fight. Sometimes we have to become that warrior. And Brigid is really good at bringing that warrior in us out. I used to be a Marine. Like, I wanted to stand up for what was right. What I thought was right at the time anyway, when I was 18. I am not saying to be passive by any means. There are times where you have to stand up and fight for what is right. And again, this comes back to discernment. Know the difference of when to fight, stand up for what is right, and when to protect yourself and move on. And only you can decide. Fourthly, prepare for the new year. This is our Phoenix moment. We look deep inside of ourselves and ask ourselves what we are not doing, what we need to be doing. It can be a project, it can be a career change, it can be a relationship change, an ending of a relationship, so you can walk more authentically in your light. A lot of times in relationships, they can kind of bring us down. We're putting so much energy towards somebody else, we've forgotten about ourselves. And I've been there many times, because I used to be a people pleaser and, want to fix him. I am not that way anymore, and my husband is very aware of that. No, he needs to fix his own issues. I am there to love him and support him, but he is the one that does the work. I do not put my energy towards the things he needs to fix. And that is a healthy relationship. The download I got this morning from Avalon is that we are to prepare our nest, much like a pregnant woman when she is nesting and getting her home ready for a new baby. That is what we need to be doing in this new year. We need to be nesting. We need to be preparing to come into this light, this awakening that is happening on the planet. So happy Samhain to everyone out there, and happy new year. And it feels like it's coming in to completely change all of our lives. So if you're watching this, I know this calling is there for you. There's no coincidence that you are watching this video. This is an energy for you. Use it. Wherever you are, peace be with you, and blessed be.